We might think that the smartest investors makes the most money, that complex strategies with multiple data points is the way to predict the completely uncertain market. The people with the highest IQ will outperform everyone else in life. But reality doesn't work that way. The world is filled with infinite possibilities, and the bad part about it is that it is filled also with infinite variable. Nobody can actually predict the market with 100% accuracy. Even a single trade or a tweet can drastically alter the situation in 5, 10, 20, 50 years, and so on. Even if you say you time travel into the past, back to 2009, and you mine Bitcoin, your action will make the future uncertain. Maybe Bitcoin won't experience Mt. Gox hacks, or maybe no 2017 ICO boom, etc. This is why if you look at the stock market, the one that makes the most money often are those who bought index funds and just leave them. This is a really insane thing to think about. We might see hedge funds with their economic models reacting to global news and doing all that kind of stuff will have an advantage than just DCAing into index fund. But it turns out that is not the case. Sure, there are times where they outperform it, but if you take the average in 10 years, you will find that index funds usually outperforms them. This is, in my opinion, an interesting topic. So in this video, I will dive into why is smart strategies failing, why do people still think they are the best, and how to force ourselves to be boring. Nothing in this video is financial advice. The seduction of smartness. So smart strategies are very enticing to us. You feel doing something simple is beneath you. Buying an index fund is so mid-curve. Surely if I develop a system outside of that, I will outperform it, right? Also, one thing that makes it enticing is this sense of control. You feel like you created the strategy, and if you won, you will feel the euphoria, proving to yourself and others that A, you are smart, and B, you know what you are doing. If you contrast it with buying an index fund or just DCAing into Bitcoin, if you won, you won't have that same level of emotional high since you are just mindlessly adding capital to them. This cycle has taught us a valuable lesson. Many people, including myself, believe that Q4 of 2025 will be alt season. Add with the pro-crypto administration in the US and Trump being the president, alt season will be the biggest in history. But instead, we got arguably the worst bull market for altcoins. Why? And it turns out that true all of the above is true. So although all of the above is true, there are more negative variables as well that we didn't predict or we failed to adequately weigh the effects of that to the price of altcoins. Geopolitical tension rising since 2022 where Russia invades Ukraine. Something unthinkable but have a lasting impact on the world. Money printing that pulls future growth back to the pandemic era, causing the subsequent years to feel like we are doing damage control mode, trying to repair the faltering a world as problem keeps piling up. AI boom that will take crypto's thunder, as Guy from Coin Bureau said on one of his videos. Let me tell you, if you asked me from 2 years ago, I wouldn't have anticipated all of the stuff above to massively impact price. I will just say, sure, yes, that is all true, but the ETF will counteract it. The president will counteract it as well. And the retailers will keep piling more money into a more compliant crypto industry. This is the real example of trying to predict the market and, be smart. It makes sense logically, but you will always miss some other variables that can and will cause your plan to either go bad or explode catastrophically entirely. Also, many smart strategies expect the world to think logically. That certainly is not the case, since the world operates by humans and humans are beings that actually move more through emotions rather than logic. You can tone it down somewhat and train yourself to maintain your logic, but there will be certain times, usually on extreme volatility or extreme situation, where you can't really think without emotions anymore. So unless we replace human brains to only think logically, then pure logic planning is destined to fail at some point. Boring strategy isn't like smart ones. They accept that we are emotional creatures, and the way to dampen or lower the emotion is to make it boring. Low volatility, day in, day out, doing the same thing over and over again. This kind of strategy is very, very boring. So this strategy's goal is to remove as much you as possible from a strategy, increase resiliency in the black swan event, lower your tendency to overinvest and overly risk-taking behavior. All of this stuff is just to maintain your wealth and perhaps grow it slowly and consistently. A key saying that resonates with me is that a smart strategy works extremely well when conditions are exactly right. Boring strategy works reasonably well across many conditions. Boring strategies lowers the need for you to modify stuff, rethink and re-strategize, minimize decision making, and also lower your mental strain. It is obviously better for your mental health and most importantly, your hairline. Also, boring strategies fit perfectly to the strength of compounding. Compounding rewards consistency. It rewards wealth protection. It actually is quite bad for volatility. Also, since boring strategies tend to have fewer moving parts, it reduces the risk of failures. Think of a machine with complex parts versus the one with simple ones. Also, since it is simpler, you can track them easily, making your need to spend time tweaking and diagnosing your strategy to a minimum. Smart strategy seems more successful exactly because it is rarer. To us, making money through index fund is no-brainer, but making money from trading and doing leverage bet is rare. That makes us think that it is the right way. Sadly, this makes us fall into what's known as survivorship bias. We only see the trades that win, not the majority that loses. Think Michael Burry and the Big Short. His subsequent shorts are all either small wins or catastrophic losses. The way to visualize it better is that there are a lot more people dying from car accidents, but we are more fearful of a plane crashing due to how rare the event really is. So how to pull ourselves and force ourselves to be boring? So learn to pull away from the market. Find other activities like hitting the gym, spending time with families, meet other people, play games, etc. Extra point if that activity makes you exhaust your mental capacity to take risk. Something like a roller coaster, high-stake MOBA game, and etc. This will make you able to think less risky when it comes to your investing because your mental brain is already tired taking risk. Have a job or another side hustle. Make investing your side business. Distance yourself from checking your portfolio and delete apps on your phone if you feel they are too demanding. This will make your brain less prone to rushing into conclusion, changing strategies on the fly, and reduce your itchiness to touch the buy or sell button. This is what I'm trying to do with this YouTube stuff. I need to learn lighting, learn how to speak, learn how to edit, learn how to script, etc. And yet my channel is still small. And I believe that if I persevere, I will probably reach that, hallowed silver button. But in my opinion, after starting this crypto channel, I feel less prone to risk, less time to check the charts, less itchiness to buy and sell. I started to just, DCAing into Bitcoin using fear and greed index, and I just left it as it is. I believe it is simple, it still has an additional input to make it smarter without overly complicating the matter. Remember, time in the market beats timing the market. Smart strategies win big some of the time. Boring strategies win consistently most of the time. Anyways, that is me signing off. Bye-bye.